He doesn't have a tinfoil hat, but he does have Brillo hair. Adam Carolla.
Yeah, get it on. Got to get on the Tuesday on a Monday. Get it on. Thanks for sharing. We love that about you, Sam Tripoli. Back in studio.
Good to be here. I like this duo here.
Yeah.
It's nice.
We're strong.
I like it.
Conspiracy Social Club, by the way, a.k.a. Deep Waters. You and Brian Callen doing that podcast. Tinfoil hat. Sam, also very skilled stand-up. He's got dates all over the place. You go to samtripoli.com. I'm here to tell you the guy's a great stand-up. I saw him do 22 minutes of a 5-minute set at the Comedy Store as I stood behind the curtain.
I'm sorry,
but it was all entertaining. It was all good stuff.
Thank you for doing my show. I appreciate it. I love you, buddy.
Who are the guys smoking out in the green room?
It's our sponsors, Absolute Extract.
Whoa.
Do you smoke weed at all?
I will, and I have.
Okay.
But I don't think I'm a smoke before I go on stage guy.
I get that.
I just, I'm sort of, I realize like one drink is sometimes good. It never makes you better. It's just a kind of a like, don't you feel better after a bath or something? It's like a little relax or something. 2-3 drinks and they start to affect your game a little bit. And, I think weed would affect my game.
Yeah, I'm not good on weed. I'm not good on cocaine either. Was okay. I did once on speed. That went good, and I was just like, I never need to do this again. This is going to destroy my career. But yeah, I was a crippling alcoholic. I'm convinced that the reason they stopped giving free drinks for a while to comedians is because I was setting high scores over there, and just like having to have a couple shots of Jack before I could even get going. But I appreciate you doing. They were a fun crowd, and you crushed.
Oh, thanks. It was fun. It was a great lineup too. All right, so stuff to talk about.
Yeah, there's a lot. I haven't been here in a while, and there's a lot to go over.
Well, we'll do everything from the deep state to the government to the benign.
Well, I mean, I know you have things you want to talk about, but I really want to.
Well, what do you want to talk about?
Well, I don't want to. I'm sorry, but I'm dying to talk to you about the fires and the fact that this town is so emotionally and spiritually captured. Mm-hmm. Outside of your tweets, I don't see anyone calling for anyone's heads.
Well, I think you could file the fires under the bullet train to nowhere, under the homeless population, under the schools failing, under COVID. It's all under COVID, which is the people who voted for these people, made candles out of these people, and worship these people are going to have to go find a fucking mirror. And when they find that mirror, I'll serve you up a nice plate of humble pie, and you don't want to eat it. And so everyone keeps going like, well, I don't get it. Why isn't CNN or even ABC or even anyone just talking about lab leak origins or how distancing doesn't work or how masks don't work or how the shot may be bad for you? And I'm saying because they're reporting on themselves.
Yes.
They're not reporting on Fauci and Wuhan labs. They're reporting on them because there's 2,000 hours of them yelling at you through a camera lens about shit they were wrong about. And every fucker in LA and in California who voted for the wrong people that caused all this stuff. It's a referendum. It's not a referendum on Newsom. It's a referendum on them who bought into this shit and ruined their state.
Oh, man, now you got them talking politics.
That's right.
The most interesting thing, guys, that I've found is forever conspiracy theorists were talking about the programming by the media, right? And I think this Tesla program protest is a validation of that. Because if you see who is actually protesting, it is over 50, but really over 60, and the super progressive, which are the only people still watching MSNBC and CNN. Nobody else is watching it, and you don't see them at these protests.
Old hippies are sadder than old porn stars. You see the chick and you can tell she's got the C-section, so she's wearing the thing around her belly and her tits are saggy, and you're kind of like, oh, man, what the fuck? I feel that way about old, bald dudes who are still trying to cobble together a ponytail and shit, you know what I mean? And it's just, you go, okay, that shit ain't You're not
And it
Jimmy
seems
Buffett.
to be that like over time, whatever like movement, like if you were a yuppie back in the day, like or even a hippie back in the day, they're the ones who just totally embraced the '80s. Like greed is good, right? They went from free love to like taking, moving jobs out of the country. And now you're kind of seeing this right now with these people who were like, in my day, the liberal was like live and let live. And now it seems to be like, no, you don't. It's this thing
You don't live that way.
Yeah. It's this thing I'm getting into. Like, the thing I learned from Twitter is that there's good fascism, bad fascism, right? And the good fascism is when fascism is used against the people you don't like. You're willing to compromise your principles for the government and the corporations to take away your rights. The bad fascism is when they go after your people. Now that, the government fascism, it's like, it's all bad fascism. There's no good fascism, but people are willing to compromise and flip-flop and do mental gymnastics on everything when they're going after people they don't like.
But when did these young, idealistic college students putting daisies into the barrels of the guys holding the rifles from the Army at Kent State, when did they become 71-year-old crazy fucking dingbats and white and completely willing to waste a day just standing on a street corner holding up a sign? By the way, some of the weakest signs I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, not very creative. For artistic people, they're not creative.
I've definitely seen homeless guys with better formed signs. One person was holding a sign. I wrote it down, which is so funny because it is, it's a lot of Musk is a Nazi and a lot of Nazi stuff, which is always weird. But this one said, Elon is inept. And I thought, well, listen, you can call him a whole bunch of shit.
Yeah.
A whole bunch of shit. But inept is a weird one from a guy who just sent up a module to save a bunch of astronauts. I come from inept people. Let me show you what inept. Let me Exhibit A, Jim Carolla. He's on the sofa. Like, I'll show you what inept is. That's not inept. I mean, you can say evil, you can say maniacal, diabolical, Hitlerian. Inept is a weird. You're standing in front of a dealership of cars he invented. How many cars you invent, bitch?
I'm with
then
you.
Shut the fuck up. You're 61 years old and still renting.
Yeah.
So maybe inept. Maybe you should turn that sign around.
Yeah, I'm inept.
Maybe you took an Uber here because you don't have a car that runs. Like inept. That's the craziest one.
Yeah. I love Bill Burr. I think he's probably one of the top 10 comics of all time. And when he's right, he's really right. But his rant about, he got the whole, the LA is doing a great job with the fires. He got that wrong. But his like Nazi rant was like really weird to me because like the whole side that's calling Elon Musk and Nazi were the same people demanding we fund the Ukraine, where we're sending literal guns and money to Nazis. Like, not just like, hey, you're a meanie. Like, hey, dude, look at this swastika I have tattooed on my chest.
Right.
Like, look at all my like these iron-ons,
Iron
all
Cross,
swastikas, all SSs.
Right.
We're really in this mental gymnastics moment of just society, and it's done on purpose to get people not to know if they're coming or going.
Well, I was thinking about that as it pertained to the whole what is a woman and what's a man and can you say what a woman is, and you have 65-year-old Democrats who can't say what a woman is. And to me, that's just to confuse, which is if we've got a society that is distilled down to we cannot differentiate between a male and a female of our species, then everything is on the table. Everyone's confused all the time. And we're now arguing over anything.
Yes.
Because this is the most basic mandate, biological piece of nature that there is. Like the very base of existence of humanity and all of nature is male and female. And monkeys, polar bears, human beings. If that's up for debate, then everything is on the table. There's nothing that's not on the table that we cannot disagree about or argue with if that's what it is. And I think part of that is a weird psyops where it's like, are we just going to argue about everything because we can never move forward? Is that what's going on?
It's just really weird because, like, they don't know what a woman is until it comes to reproductive rights, and then they're really clear on what a woman is. And it's, again, going into this mental gymnastics of being flip-flopping on everything and not really having any base core of beliefs.
Right. And then, so what is the end game, which I keep saying to, like, Dr. Drew? Like, is it nihilism? Like, is it everything must come down and just be turned to dust? Or is it they have a way that's going to work, except for if they don't offer that way? You know what I mean? Like, it's sort of, so it's sort of this, you know, okay, let's just say you got your wife, right? And you go, look, the garage is such a mess. I can't even pull the car into it. I think I saw a rat run out of there when I opened the door. There's squirrels in there.
My house?
Why don't we? You say to your wife, you go, why don't we just this weekend we'll just clear out the garage, me and you, just take care of the garage. And she goes, you know, look, Sam, I want the garage cleared out as much as anybody. Who wouldn't want a clean and tidy garage? As a matter of fact, we all deserve a tidy garage. But you and I doing it this weekend is not the way to do this. And you go, oh, okay. Well, why don't we hire like one of those crews that shows up with the junk truck or whatever, and we'll get them to come this weekend. Look, you understand, nobody wants a clean garage as much as me. Having strangers show up at our home in a flatbed, that is not the way to do it. And I worry about our children, and I have a lot of concerns. And then you go, okay, all right. How about we hire your brother? He's not working. He could come this weekend. He drives a van. Listen, you know I want that garage clean, Sam. But let me tell you why Fred is not going to. And at some point, you go, maybe you don't want a clean garage. Maybe you just don't want a clean garage. Like, I think that's what you did with the border. Like, we kept saying stuff, and you kept going, I want a safe and secure border as much as next. But here's what we got to do. I'm starting to just think these are things you want. Is that what's going on?
Karen Bass gives a hell of a blowjob.
You know, I mean, the truth of the matter is, and I've been saying this forever, we've let the barbarians in the gate. The Bolsheviks are here, and this is what they do. You can't attack America from the outside. You'll go back in body bags, so you have to slowly but surely subvert everything, and that's what they're doing. And there's, you know, it's like I had a rant on the fires, and some guy nerd with glasses came on and it commented, he's like, this guy will blame everything but climate change. I go, bro, literally everything that climate scientists have told you over the decades, not one of them have come true. Not one of them. At what point do you realize you're being played? But they don't care because they're at a certain economic level. They, up until the fires, they really didn't feel any of the consequences of their voting, and they've just let, you know, Trudeau, Gavin Newsom, Karen Bass, they're all the same person. Lie to your face while they burn everything to the ground.
Yeah, they don't believe in climate change. They don't see that. I know they don't believe their own shit because, you know, if Gavin Newsom believed in any of the COVID shit he was talking about, he wouldn't have gone to the French Laundry. Like, they don't let their kids go to your shitty public schools that you guys love so much. You would never let your fucking
kids vaccinated. Bill Gates famously doesn't get his kids vaccinated.
Right, so they don't believe in this shit. I'll tell you the number one thing. In Malibu, all the folks that live in Malibu are all the fucking climate changers. You buy a house on one side of PCH right on the ocean, it's $15 million. You go up the hill where it's high and dry, it's $2 million. You save $12-13 million by living on high ground. Yeah. They spend an extra $15 million to live on the thing they say is going to envelop California and where it's going to swallow us up. Why you guys all live on the ocean? If the seas are rising and this is a threat, why does Leonardo DiCaprio the Obamas too. Why are you guys buying houses that are on the ocean if you keep telling us the ocean is going to rise and claim us all? Why are you live up on the fucking hill with me?
And it's guns is the same thing. It's like Gavin Newsom wants to get rid of all the guns except for all of his bodyguards. They're allowed to have guns.
I would say this on a comical note. In Malibu, Hunter Biden's house burned down. And if you got hold of like one of Hunter Biden's friends like 5-8 years ago and go, Hunter Biden's house is going to burn down. Now, is it A, wildfire, or B, he passed out with a horse smoking a crack pipe? Oh, 100%. 100%. He had fucking guy falls asleep every night with a lit crack pipe on his belly. He's fucking, nope. Ironic that it's a wildfire that got that guy.
Yeah, it is really. Yeah, again, it's like, what you say and what you do, two totally different things.
Here's an interesting thought I had. I was thinking about our bullet train in California from Bakersfield to Merced or whatever. And Newsom was talking about it with Bill Maher. Had no answers, just circled extra salad.
Deflect like
He's
the
the
Matrix.
worst, too.
Yeah.
The Matrix.
It's the worst, man.
It's
The
the
guy,
worst.
Bill Maher let him off the hook, like giggled about it.
he's the worst.
We need another $7 billion to keep it going. I don't even know where Merced
got that in
is.
the news,
I'll
bro.
get into that, but I will tell you this. As a metaphor, when you think about, and I went back and I looked at the Golden Spike was driven in Utah for the Transcontinental Railroad in 1869. 1869, like probably somewhere around 1857 or 1861, somebody proclaimed, we need to make a railroad from New York to Venice Beach, California. And we got to all the way across the country, and all we got is donkeys and Chinamen. Yeah. And fucking, all there is mountains. All there is mountains, and all we got is TNT, donkeys, and China. Chinese guys. Let's do it. And fucking 7 years later, they connected. That's what they did. That's what they did. Now we're on year 21 of a 6-mile stretch that's nowhere near done, that costs hundreds of billions of dollars, right? But I thought, as a metaphor for a state or a country, or just as a metaphor for a state, we cannot build a railroad. When someone goes, we cannot build a railroad, I'll go, okay, you guys are third world.
Yeah.
Then you don't know what the fuck you're doing.
You're not even third world. Third world people can get shit done.
Yes, they can get shit done. If you can't build a railroad in your country, then it's basically like you saying to me, I'm in fantastic shape. You are? I'm fantastic. How's your upper body? Strong as a fucking ox. How many push-ups can you do? Okay, let's not get into that.
Yeah.
It's like, well, how many push-ups? 2? Okay, then you're not. No, I'm in fantastic shape. But you can only, that's push-ups. But other than that, I'm in it's like, you are not.
Yeah.
If you cannot build a railroad, your fucking state is shit. Or your country shit, or your town is shit. Railroad is the push-up of society.
Yeah.
It's just, you train all different guys. I don't care what your hack squad is or whatever. If you can't fucking rattle off 30 push-ups, then don't tell me you're in fucking good shape. You're not. You're just, I am too, but you're not. You're just not in good shape if you can't do that. If you cannot build a railroad, it's the punt, pass, and kick competition of a state. If you cannot build a railroad, then your state is corrupt or inept, or it's overregulated, or it's over union, like whatever it is, it's not working. Because the railroad, you can talk about schools and you can talk about homeless, and you can talk about all these things, and they all count. But the railroad is really just the one. Like when they go, that railroad was done under time and under budget, and their bullet train's a real bullet train. It goes 200 kilometers an hour. You go, okay, that's a fucking society.
Yeah.
That's a society. We can't pull it off.
Yeah, I totally agree. And whatever you think about Doge and what Elon Musk is doing, it seems like the biggest thing is just getting rid of all this like excess employees, this bloat that really don't do anything except for take a check.
Oh, God. People are now getting into regulation. I've been screaming about it my whole life because I was a builder. And when you're a builder, you're right in the thick of regulation, like so go get a permit, go wait for your permit, stupid, insane stuff, like just codes that don't make sense. They're like nuisance codes and things of that nature. And just now kind of Bill Maher and Jon Stewart are kind of waking up to like all this strangling regulation that these process people put into place. That's all they do.
Justify their jobs.
It's a weird, it's kind of it's a thing where I always go, look, you elect, the LA City Council, it's just a bunch of dumb chicks, and you elect them and you go, what's our jobs? Like, we make rules. All right. What do beavers do? They build dams. What if you put a beaver on the roof of the Empire State Building? He'd build a dam.
Yep.
They're just doing what they do. They
we
just
get
sit
the only
there.
beavers that can't build shit.
They just do what they do, which is we make rules. And they just sit here all day and make rules. And you don't really notice it until you get into the system, and then when you get into the system and they fuck you over 10 ways to Sunday, they fuck you up badly, and nothing comes out the other end, and then they realize, oh, we don't have any Wi-Fi or charging stations or whatever because they got so many rules. They're so regulated we can't do. Where's all our low-cost housing for the homeless? Like, oh, we don't do that. Why? We're so regulated that we can't do anything. And they go, but don't you want to be safe? It's like, yeah, I'd like a ground wire on the outlets so the house doesn't burn down. But you guys have gone so fucking far, it's stifling. And every rule you add adds another $500 to the price of this low-cost housing we're building, and that's why one 500 square foot unit here is $1.3 million.
I totally agree, and that's basically what Trump said to Karen Bass's face in that press conference.
Right,
he's like, "You guys have too many regulations. These people want to come and clean up their house so they can start to rebuild." And she's like, "We gotta make sure of this, we gotta make sure of that," and it's like,
it's
dude,
safe. It's safe.
Yeah, it's just like fuck safe. You're never gonna, dude. If safe is more important than progress and production, that's where you're fucked. And I forget the name of the word for it. It starts with Korean basically, but it is this thing that like the communism does. Because when you go, who's the number one employer or who had the most job growth in California? You go to the government. That's communism right there. That is public. That is party people, and that's basically what DEI is now. It's a Russian term. It starts with Korean. I forget how the Korean philadelphia or something like that. And it's basically like DEI is about positioning party loyalists all over the place. So that when you get to somewhere and you want to make progress, all the way up is rot because they're all party.
Yeah, I get
never
it.
Thought about it that way, huh? That's like a conspiracy is sprung on us right there. Yeah, you're right. If you get somebody in that spot, they're loyal to you.
Yeah,
I get all that. What I don't get is the cacophony of useless idiots, like the fucking 56-year-old white chicks that are out screaming about Elon or Trump or who are playing into their hands because it's Kurin Ninzatsia.
Yeah, it's a crazy name, but that's it, dude. That's what they do.
Well, but see, when I'm not I get what these people are doing. Like, I understand what the politicians are doing, and I understand what Maxine Waters is doing. Like, they're hanging on to power, they're making money, they're in a position of power, whatever. They're doing what they're doing. They're basically doing, when people say to my friend Mark Garagos all the time, like,
I love Mark.
Mark's great, but, how can you defend this guy? He's a killer. It's like, it's my job. I get what he's doing.
And they have the right. You have to defend the worst of the worst.
And when he hires a ballistics expert, believe me, he agrees with what Mark's side angle is on the story. That's fine. He does what he does. Who are all the 56-year-old white chicks that support that shit and don't see what's going on?
They're unwanted. They're unwanted from the other side. They're clinging to this side. They've raised up in this liberal, sort of echo chamber. Everybody picks a team at some point.
And so many of them don't have kids. It's like that. They say once you have children, you tend to become a little more conservative. Well, we're having this giant, especially right now. There was a story. It was on Patrick Bet David about how women are opting out of marriage now, which is a horrible thing. They had that, I forget her name, the new singer. She, it reminded me very much of a statement Jennifer Aniston made at the height of her popularity, where she's just along the lines of like, I don't need kids. I don't need to have a man in my life. And you're telling women literally the worst advice that goes against their biology.
By the way, Chappell Roan.
Yeah, Chappell Roan.
Listen, I don't know Chappell Roan, but I'll tell you, there's something. Leave it up there. Thank you. I'm talking about the person that's on the screen, so you can leave it up there. You don't have to take it off, as previously discussed 40,000 times. Chappell Roan, especially if they have a weird name, because I may forget. There's a horrible disservice that has been, a horrible joke that's been played upon kind of homely women, and especially women that have masculine features, especially women in Hollywood, which is, since the he-she thing is now on the table, that if you're just a chick that's a little bit homely, I will go, is that a dude?
Yeah.
Is that a dude? Which is the worst thing you can hear if you weren't a dude. It's basically worse than, are you pregnant?
Yeah.
No, I'm not. I'm a big eater.
I made that mistake.
I know, but I'm saying, don't you think were you a dude is a much bigger slap in the face to a chick than are you pregnant? Yeah. Are you pregnant? You can do something about. Just put down the fucking corn muffin, bitch, and hit the trail. You know what I mean? Like, I could correct, are you pregnant, in 5 weeks if I'm a chick. I just go fucking keto, paleo, whatever. I'll work it out. Were you a dude? That's a hard one to fix.
That's a hard sell.
And it's now on the table, since half the fucking people in Hollywood were formerly something else. And Chappell Roan has was that a dude?
Yeah, very much. Strong chin line.
They're just
Mayhem
something
Miller chin
a
line.
little homely.
Wood.
Yeah, hey, that's a low bar for me, though.
But I'll tell you why I think she's a bitch. Just because she was doing this podcast, and I saw it on TMZ, and she overheard girls talking about her when she was in high school, like in line at the cafeteria or something. And she does the thing it's a unique chick thing where she goes, the girls said I was pretty, but I wasn't hot. And then she goes, can you believe, she got pissed off. And I'm like, bitch, take pretty and fucking run.
At this point, take pretty.
Run with that shit right there. Like it's like the dealer's showing a 4 and you got 19. Just no hit. Don't hit on pretty. That fucking bitch just gave you pretty. I thought you were a dude.
Yeah.
You got pretty. You know where you're getting to hot. Yeah. So take fucking pretty and run. But she was pissed at them for not saying she was hot. Which, by the way, I could argue I'd rather my daughter be pretty than hot. Really, honestly.
Hot's a whole bunch of trouble.
Hot's a calorie burner.
Yeah.
There's other things that go along with hot.
Yeah. Get a gun.
Yeah, you get star 80'd when you're hot.
Yeah.
When you're pretty, you just get a nice haircut.
And they've done studies that, like, when they say, like, average-looking people tend to be happier.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's why I'm miserable. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Yeah, you know the jingle. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Swing. Yeah, O'Reilly. They got the auto parts. They have the friendly, helpful service people. And they have the knowledge and they have the parts to maintain your car and repair your car as well. I've always gone to O'Reilly because I'm a car guy, and they have a huge selection of parts, and also they're knowledgeable as well. And my whole life, I've been working on cars, and I've been going to O'Reilly. So whether you're a car aficionado or an auto novice, you can find the parts you need with employees who are knowledgeable, and they understand what the problem is. And they're friendly. That's the best part. So stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts today and visit them at O'Reilly.com/Adam. That's O'Reilly.com/Adam. Hey, did you know that 60% of the clothes we buy end up in a landfill within a year of being made? That is gross. Very ugly. Historically, our clothes were something we held on to for a long time. But big apparel companies constantly find ways to make clothes faster and cheaper, turning clothes disposable. And American Giant doesn't think that's right. American Giant is about durable, non-disposable products. They make their clothes built to last. So buying from American Giant is an investment, not just in clothes, but a community trying to do things the right way. Their stuff is great. It's durable. And yeah, think back to those days when you had that shirt and you hung on to it for a while, or the pants. Now it's so disposable. Let's not be ugly Americans. Through American ingenuity and innovation, they went against the current to do better. They believe in a new kind of conscious buying because small changes can add up to something big. It's American Giant, right, Dawson?
This season, snag the hoodie that will bring you comfort for life, the American Giant Classic Full Zip. And save 20% on your first order at american-giant.com. When you use code ADAM at checkout, that's 20% off your first order at american-giant.com, code ADAM.
I realized that I have a lot of thoughts about tomatoes, okay? I don't like all the little grape tomatoes and miniature tomatoes. I don't like all the fancy names. All the colors are still hard and sour and the skin's thick, and everyone's fucking swapped them out for the beefsteak tomato, which is the best. Roma's good. But here's what I'm saying. If you said to me, if you said to most Americans, do you like Brussels sprouts? Some would go, yeah, I like Brussels sprouts. And then some would go, no, I don't like Brussels sprouts. But that would be the end of the conversation. There wouldn't be a lot of caveats and rules attached to the Brussels sprouts. It'd be, Adam, do you like liver? No, I don't. Do you like avocados? Yes, I do. Oh, so do you like guacamole? Yeah. And would you like avocado toast? Yes, I would. Would you like avocado? I like avocados. Yeah. Tomato comes with rules. Comes with rules. Everybody's got I don't like cooked tomatoes. I like fresh tomato, but not on a burger. I don't want it on a burger. I'll take it on a salad.
So right.
So I'm sitting around with my girlfriend. We're going to go see my daughter. She's making her all kinds of food because she's nice. And she says, does Natalia like tomatoes? And I go, she's a chick. She's got a lot of tomato rules, and I don't care. So I'm not really... I don't carry around like a laminated cheat sheet to figure out where you're at with tomatoes, because women are like, I don't like tomatoes. I like pasta sauce. I'll do pasta sauce. I don't like, okay, that's mashed up tomatoes. That's just tomatoes. Okay, I like pizza. I like a red. Okay, I'll take it on I don't want it on it. I like cooked. I don't like uncooked. I don't like this. I go, what's, I can't remember all the tomato preferences and rules, and nobody has them. They don't have it around pears. They don't have it around carrots. They don't have it around anything. But tomatoes, rules.
That's so funny,
and it's
dude.
like, and they'll go, I love tomatoes. And you go, okay, well, let's get an omelet. We'll put some tomatoes. Oh, not in the omelet. Not in the omelet.
You're so
not
right.
on the burger. Not on the burger. Not hot. I don't like, cooked. No, not fresh. No, cooked. Fucking knock it off. Do you like tomatoes or not? So she goes, does your daughter like tomatoes? And I go, oh, God. Whew. There's lots of tomato rules.
Yeah.
I can hear all the
There's
machinations.
literally, Adam, tomato. People
I
debate
can't even
that.
pronounce it. And my girlfriend has a laundry list of tomato rules too. So I'm trying to worry if I'm cross-pollinating her tomato rules with my daughter's tomato. Chick's got tomato rules. Yeah. I have 0 tomato rules because I like tomatoes. So I don't know. Put them in the fucking pasta sauce. Put them on the pizza. Put them in the omelet. Put them on the salad. Same with avocado. Same with broccolini. I like or I don't like. I don't like calf's liver. How about on a salad? Oh, that's different. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. I don't like it. So then she goes, she liked the tomatoes? I go, okay, let me see if I can get this straight. She likes, hold on, she doesn't like them cooked? Wait, that's you. You don't like them cooked. Wait, do you like them cooked? No, you don't like them raw. Okay. She likes them sometimes cooked, but likes tomato sauce, but doesn't like tomato. I don't know. They put the fucking tomato on the side. Then, of course, we get their daughter. I go, do you like tomato? I don't really like tomato. I like tomato and eggs. I'm like, okay. This is what's with the tomato rules? I think it's a chick thing.
It is. Well, it's always a chick thing. It's
always
never
a chick
not
thing.
a chick thing.
It's always a chick thing. But what are the tomato rules inside this building right now? Dude, where are we? Dawson, you got to have tomato rules.
I love tomatoes.
Good.
I like tomatoes.
All right, dude. Very dude of you. Any tomato rules? Or
I love tomatoes. When I eat salad, I eat the tomatoes alone by themselves.
Wow. You love tomatoes.
I eat them all, and then I'll sit there, and then I'll eat the tomatoes.
I love tomatoes,
I would
too.
just like to make an announcement to the studio, whoever is getting my salad. If I have another grape tomato, I will drown you in the toilet.
All right. My tomato rule is somebody 10 minutes ago made these little miniature fucking buckshot tomatoes that taste like
Yeah,
shit. They're
exactly.
all fucking skin and chew. And I don't want you subbing out my beefsteak tomato for these little cyanide capsules. That's it. That's my own. But that started 10 minutes ago.
They're like
That's
the
not on me.
pugs of tomatoes. Like pugs should not exist.
No, they can barely breathe. Yeah, I know. You're right. Like, this is some inbred shit. Well, yeah, back in the day, it used to be good for a fox hunt or something. Now they can barely get out of their fucking basket without
there's
falling
no
over.
purpose for a pug.
You've bred them. They look amazing.
I have a pug. I love it to death. I'll never have another pug
Get
after
that fucking pug off my salad.
I love my pug. I love my pug.
Do we have a Chappell Roan?
Chappell Roan.
Strong
announcing the-
chin, Roan.
Chappell Roan talks about hot to go.
All right, sorry, pause it there for a second. I'm sorry, but if somebody said this is a dude who's now a performance artist or something, I'd go, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, what's their number?
I've been saying this about trans forever. They're getting like iPhones. They're just getting slicker and slicker,
Yeah,
right? So
yeah.
you really have to like do some math on if this is or not. I mean, the ones that look like that.
Yeah, all right, so sorry.
The impetus for writing it. When she was in high school, there were these girls
look
who
at
were
that
talking
chin.
about her.
They're like, she's not hot, but she's pretty.
She was like, I hated being called pretty and not hot.
There is a difference.
Would you rather be pretty or hot?
Pretty.
Every girl would rather be hot.
One thing's for sure you don't want to say, you've got a great personality.
Waka waka.
General type.
All right, she's pissed because she overheard somebody call. Like, I remember once in high school, dudes, I overheard them calling me handsome, but they didn't say I was an Adonis.
Yeah.
So I got fucking rip shit
Yeah,
pissed, man.
yeah.
Like, fuck that with your handsome.
Women are just enigmas, dude.
You know what it is? I realize they're all hair triggered and ready to be annoyed. They can be annoyed by anything. You could be annoyed that somebody called you pretty in high school. Girls, the most catty human beings on the planet
100%.
who hate all of the competition
hate each other.
and hate each other. They're like birds. When bird sees itself in a mirror and starts attacking its own reflection, they fucking hate each other. That's why they call women birds. The point is, you overheard someone calling you pretty. That can't annoy you.
You should be okay. Women are like
Flattered.
Sports Center. They're just Sports Center. They take an event and they just analyze it to death. They have a million angles of it. They have talking heads coming in their head, breaking down what happened.
Yeah.
And when women go, "What are you thinking?" and men say nothing, we literally are thinking nothing. We're just kind of just waiting to the next chore we have to do or going back to work. It is and it goes to me. It goes back to the most basic hunting gathering. Like if you're a hunter and you laugh or fart or do something, you could run off the prey. But women were back in the village, talking.
Yeah, scaring all the prey away.
Yeah, just over analyzing, breaking everything, and it just fast forward to today. They have the same wiring. They over analyze every moment of everything. Nothing is a yes or no, black and white. It's just deep dives into everything.
There's also a weird, and I realize we're kind of doomed because we get enough of what I call chick dink.
Since we let them vote.
Yeah, everyone hates my chick dink speech, but here's what my chick dink speech is. Now listen, I do the caveat. Gavin Newsom thinks like a chick. That's the problem. He's a dude, but he thinks like a chick, and that's an issue. Okay, but if you think this way, then we're fucked when it comes to anything to do with running the city or the state. Just I had there was a woman who had a small business in the town I used to live in, and she was like a beautician, and she did waxings and facials and blah blah blah, and she was a nice woman. And I was talking to her one day, and she said, "Well, I think I'm going to have to move out of here, out of this little location that she built out and everything. She's a businesswoman. She built a small business for herself. She was nice and educated and stuff. She goes, Mark Garagos is her landlord. And he goes, he wants to raise my rent. And I'll fudge around the numbers because I don't remember exactly. But he wants to raise the rent from like $7,000 a month to $7,500 a month or some amount. And she goes, it's not fair. It's not fair. It's too much. It's not fair. I said, oh, well, when's the last time he raised the rent? She goes, oh, he's never raised the rent. I go, how long? You've been here a while, haven't you? He goes, I've been here 8 years. And he's never raised the rent. She goes, no. I go, well, what does the contract say? What's the lease say? How much can he raise the rent? Well, it says he can go up 3% a year. I go, okay, 3% a year, and you're paying, and you've been here for 8 years, and he hasn't raised it in 8 years, and now he raised it $500, but according to my calculations, he could have raised it $1,100 because 8 years, we just gone up 3% every 8 years. That's where you'd be at. And then also, you didn't have to pay that money for the last 8 years. So I don't know. I think it's less than what the lease stipulates. And she goes, it's just not fair. And I go, oh, you don't know how to, you've lost your ability to think. And now we're fucked because if you're in charge of COVID, then we're fucked. Right. So you're not thinking correctly. I said to her 2 times, I go, listen, if he just raised it what the lease had stipulated each year for the last 8 years, you'd be well over the number you're at now, and you didn't have to pay it for those years. She's like, it's not fair. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, I don't know how we deal with this.
You can't deal with it. That is literally why we in society where we are. The theory of hate, and I wouldn't say raising rate is hate, but along the lines of not liking. The theory of not liking something, the theory of hate is more dangerous than real street consequences, right? It's like that guy in Philadelphia where the black gentleman walked past the couple, and because he didn't want to be seen as racist, he wouldn't cross the street. So he walks right by this black guy with his girlfriend or his wife. I think she's his girlfriend. So the black guy walks and then comes back and stabs him to death. The girl just sits there, does nothing, and refuses to give a description of the assailant because she doesn't want to feed into racial stereotypes.
Yeah.
It's the theory of something is worse. And I bet you if Mark had actually filed a contract and went up 3% every year, she wouldn't even have cared.
You're right.
It's the big jump, like, oh.
No, it's true. It was the jump. If you could have boiled the frog if you'd put him in when the water was cold, but it went hot. But the fact that she couldn't wrap her mind around the fact that she was getting a break from what it could be and that she got a break from paying it all for the last 8 years is the part. And this is a educated small business owner, sober person who runs a business. Now you get to Maxine Waters. Yeah. And now you're complete fucking Aunt Esther from Sanford and Son.
But it's not fair.
It's not fair. Right.
Yeah, if you've been in Washington, D.C. long enough, you have no clue how the real world works.
Oh, my God.
Your whole understanding is politics, and politics is dirty, and it's not logical, and your whole thing is like the people that give you money, you're subservient to them, and that's all that really matters.
That's why I don't go out there. That's why I'm in these streets.
Yeah, that's why you're in the streets, dude. Real world consequences are more important than the theory of hate.
Well, the other thing I wanted to talk about, it's just driving me nuts. It's happened to me a few times, which is I did a show in Beverly Hills last, Thursday or something. And I had to drive through Coldwater Canyon. And somebody told me, and I can't remember who I was interviewing, but I it's now stuck in my head and I realize it. I'm the best passenger of all time. I mean, Mike August drives and we're on the road. He's the only guy I know who insists on shifting an automatic car. He's so aggressive that he grabs the automatic shift and is throwing it between third and low and then back up into drive and
That's
then crank.
crazy.
I'm like, Mike, let the fucking shifter alone. And then he's so fucking into it. It's a rental car. So I'm like, okay, do whatever the fuck you want. But at some point, he jumps into my car, and I go, Mike, get your fucking hands. So I don't want to blow up the transmission, Speed Racer.
That's crazy.
He shifts an automatic car.
Yeah, you guys never done it? It's pretty fun.
I mean,
I used to run stick shift.
Hey, you running a rental car? Man,
He's
drive
trying
that
to-
thing like it's stolen.
So he's giving me, the only thing that gives me anxiety is I think he's going to drop it into reverse when we're going
Yeah, I
60.
get
The
that.
fucking transmission's going to grenade, you know?
I've been there, bud.
So I'm like, okay, dude, okay. But he drives like a fucking maniac. He drives like a maniac. And I just sit there, passenger seat, like a rag doll. I don't care. I don't care. I said,
Calmly
he'll
accepting
have
your
close
fate.
misses
Yeah.
come try. He doesn't signal. He's pulling e-brakes, going Starsky and Hutch, slaps a siren on the
Fast and
roof. You know,
Furious.
we go downtown. We talk to Huggy Bear. We peel off a couple of 20s. We get the dope. We get the inside info. So I said to Mike doing that, I said, am I the greatest passenger you've ever had in your life? He goes, oh, man, you're the best. My fucking wife's the worst. You just fucking sit there while I go nuts. I go, that's right. Because I like going fast. So I have a race car. I drive race cars. I have a racing license. But something stuck in my head. And I can't remember who told me, but they said, Danica Patrick has anxiety when she's going slow. And then I realized I have this when I'm sitting at a light and the person's not turning and it's on the red light. And I'm go, you can turn. And I'm like, go ahead. Go. And I'm like, I can sit with Mike with zero anxiety, weaving in and out of traffic on roads unknown, by the way. We're out on the road. He's looking at his phone. He's got one hand on his phone, the other's on the stick shift. He's steering the fucking car with his dick. We're weaving in and out of traffic. We're going to crash before we get to the gig, you know, and I don't care. I'm just sitting there. But you hold me up at a red light and the anxiety starts pouring out. I got to go through Coldwater Canyon. There are people who drive through the canyons of this town we're in that act like they've never driven a car in their life. Like I checked the speedometer the whole time. We got to 11 miles an hour on many of the turns. Like it says 35 on the, like they just literally like come to a stop. Like I want to get out of my car and run out and bang on their rear window. And I'm going out of my fucking mind. But I'm also up their ass. And I'm driving a big SUV. And it's at night. And at some point when they're just fucking crawling, like just all the way from the very base of Coldwater till it spills out in Beverly Hills, just crawling. I'm flipping the high beams and I'm up their ass. And my whole thing is just pull over. You don't want to drive. Why do you want me up your ass? I'm up your. I'm going to a gig. You are going to, I don't know, bury your father. I don't know where you're going. You're getting an AIDS test?
Yeah.
Like, where are you going that you don't want to be there? I'm going to a place where I have to be there, and I'm running a little bit late, and I'm up your ass. Like, I'm 3 feet. Listen,
Maybe you shouldn't listen to Kenny Loggins the whole way over Coldwater Canyon.
Pumping the danger zone.
How many times you been on like the highway and you know who
To the
causes
danger
traffic? You know who causes traffic? Defensive drivers.
Yes.
That's who. I can't tell you how many times I've been on the 405 and I'm just like slowly weaving somehow, and I get to the front and the 4 or 5 lane highway. 5 defensive drivers.
Right, everyone's going.
All just like linemen in NFL blocking.
I always say waiting for the pace car to pull off.
Yep.
Like that's their parade lap. Like grid up. When the pace car pulls up, look for the green flag.
Yep.
It's a rolling start. Like they're all just going fucking 47 miles an hour. And I'm always like, do you guys know each other? Like what the fuck is going on here? But what I don't get with this individual in the canyon is I will drive. The one thing about doing race car driving is you get very comfortable with being very close to other cars at high speeds. You're not bothered physically even touching other cars.
I call that Detroit. I
Yeah.
was just in Detroit. They're getting you pregnant. That's how
Right,
fast.
that's how they drive.
Yeah.
Right up the tailpipe.
Yeah.
So I'm literally, well, first off, we're going 11 miles an hour, so I'm pretty confident I'm good here. But I'm 2.5 feet behind the person, and I'm flipping the high beams the whole time. They do not modify or change their driving speed. I don't get the finger. I don't get anything. I just get, I'm going 11 miles an hour. And my thing is like, there's ample space I got a wagon train of fucking cars behind me. Just fucking slide over and just let them go. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like if I'm at the ATM and there's some guy behind me going, come on. The bail bonds place closes in 10 minutes. And I'm going, oh, what was my ATM again? And I'm on the phone. Like at some point I just go ahead. I'll just stand. I'll slide over here. Like they'll do it once in a while at the airport or wherever you're in the line. Like someone will have too much business to do, checking into a hotel or something. And the person, the human being will go, you know what? Just you go. I got to figure something out over here. I'm like, fine, just go. We're in a hurry. You don't know how to drive. Slide over. There's no harm. There's no shame. You're not in a hurry to go anywhere, obviously. Just why all the pressure? Well, you really want me 3 feet away with the high beams like the whole time?
It's almost society, too. It's like at some point we stopped demanding that everyone keep up with us, and we started catering to the slow, weak, and all that stuff.
Yes.
And it's like, no, you keep up with us. Like the whole point of your grandparents was to get to the next level economically, not to be like, no, come down to my economic level.
Every time I see that giant pneumatic swing arm chair at the pool at the hotel for the handicap, I think get rid of that shit. Yeah. There could be a fucking diving board there, and we could be creating our next division of handicap people with this diving board. I've never seen anyone sit in it. I've never seen anyone use it. It cost the hotel $6,000. They passed that along to us. Get rid of it. If you're fucking a cripple, you can't go in the fucking pool at the Marriott. Tough shit. We'll hose you down in the tub.
If you're fucking a cripple, I'll watch. Yeah, it's this is where society starts to go bad.
Shouldn't we have pool handicap ramps? Like a wet, dry wheelchair? I'd see a guy just roll it right in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just a shallow end. Just a shallow end.
Start and chuck them.
I'd watch the shit out of you rolling into a wet, dry.
That would be my algorithm at some point. Just wheelchair people in the water, live or die, sink or swim.
I'm just saying that big old weird fucking chair.
Yeah.
It's always rusting out. It's clearly never been used.
Yeah.
Somebody paid a shitload to install that chair.
Yeah.
And I've never seen a family with a quad trying to get their dad into the chair. I'm just saying, when you've lost the use of your limbs, how enjoyable is the pool?
Well, I mean,
you're really just there to drown at that point.
Floaties on them,
but you're not enjoying it.
Can they feel? I mean, if you can't use your limb, can you still feel?
Guys, it's for
you can feel it when your fucking head goes under and your lungs fill with pool water. You can feel.
Yeah.
Well, what I'm saying is I get the jacuzzi. If let's just say you're quad. Okay, you want to use a jacuzzi. Maybe you have sensation in your chest or lower extremities. I don't know. It's a good point. Can you feel? Can I put a cigarette out on your thigh? Would you wake up? I'm going to find out. but here's the thing. There's nothing in the pool. The chair is not over the jacuzzi. It's over the pool.
Yeah.
What's in it? The water's lukewarm. It's not a jacuzzi. It's not the temp. The kids go in the pool to play. Adults go in the pool to drink. Some go into swim laps, exercise. There's volleyball. You're out on Marco Polo. I know where you are. Yeah. You know what I mean? You would lose every game.
Yeah.
Gimp out of water. Gimp out of water.
Yeah.
All right. What's in it for you with the pool other than drowning and freaking everyone out in your family?
Yeah.
You know, it's got to sit next to you and watch you. See when this brown water comes shooting out of it.
And we all have to deal with you. That was like Brian Callen's great bit about how he always hates seeing wheelchair people in a wedding photo because everyone has to deal with them and get around them. Yeah, that's pretty funny, dude.
The pneumatic chair that lowers you into the water.
Yeah.
I will take that on the jacuzzi. Also, if you want to wheel yourself into a sauna, that's your business. You know what I mean? More room for me on the bench.
Yeah.
Never seen a wheelchair in a sauna. Has anyone ever seen a wheelchair in a
I've
sauna?
never seen a wheelchair.
Why not?
It's up to 160 degrees. You burn your damn thighs.
Oh, that wheelchair's got to get hot.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
That's probably
Okay.
metal.
Yeah, it's a new resonance. It's like a convection oven. It's game over.
Can't they make a teak wheelchair?
Yeah, exactly.
And I'll come over with the ladle and dump water on your head every 20 minutes. You know what I mean? Like, I would comply. I would help you out.
I agree.
I think if you're in a wheelchair, you could use. It makes a lot more. Okay, I have never seen a wheelchair guy in the pool at the hotel, but the sauna would make sense. That guy needs to unwind more than any of us. He just spent an hour trying to get in a van. You know what I mean? For us, it was easy. You know what I'm saying? Like him going to Costco is a 2-day. That's a 2-day pilgrimage. For us, it's a couple hours, right?
Nick DePaula has the best joke. He goes, "Why are there 5 handicapped parking spots? I hate to tell everybody, 5 handicapped people are here. They're all coming in the same van."
Hey, tell me what you think of this. I left a restaurant yesterday, and I saw like 2025 fully loaded, murdered out Ford Raptor. But it's a trophy truck. It's got 33 inches of travel and the supercharger on
I
it.
got hard.
And it's parked in the handicaps.
Nice.
That's the craziest
How is
thing.
that? By the way, you need a fucking stepladder to get into the cab of that car.
Yeah.
That guy's in the hand. The fact that it's murdered out, it's all flat black, the windows are smoked, it's got the lift kit and the black rims and everything. I'm like, this is a trophy truck.
Yeah,
Why
you're
is
a real piece of shit if you're
who's driving that truck?
I can't stand when you see somebody in a handicapped parking spot and they get out and they're like Bowflex shredded.
Right.
And like, okay, maybe you got a mother or grandma that is old, but she's not in the car right now. You don't need to park there.
Yeah. All right. So never seen a guy in a wheelchair in a sauna or a steam room. Or the pool.
Yeah, I've never seen him in pool.
And it wouldn't take much to make the sauna handicap compliant. That would just take a fucking wedge of wood. You know, there's nothing. You just walk, roll right into that shit, right? It's just like a threshold, right? Yeah. No problem. They could access it. I think they should, but they don't. Do people in wheelchairs, like if you're quadriplegic, could you go experience a sauna the way we experience a sauna, or would it be dangerous?
Be dangerous as hell. You can't get up and walk out. When
you can't.
Well, you roll out.
Well, what? You're talking like quad with like the stick in their mouth to like roll the wheelchair? I mean, first of all, the electronics not going to hold up in that sauna. I'm just telling you. So somebody has to come and bring them. They need an attendant the entire time. You ready for that responsibility, Carolla?
Well, if they got a whole pneumatic arm in front of the pool, they could do a sauna lift, too.
You're right.
I think those people would appreciate a sauna.
No, you have to body lock them and drag them in there. That's the only way.
Yeah, I mean, dude, unless you got a plastic seat or a wheelchair, that thing's going to get hot.
It's going to melt.
They have something for everything. Like, they got to be some sort of maritime wheelchair or something, one that's safe for boats or something. You know, you make it out of stainless steel. You know, you figure it out. I don't know.
Maybe there's a market. Maybe we're on to a new story.
You could make one out of teak, man. Teak is great sauna wood.
Just a wood one, too.
Yeah, it doesn't float, though.
Yeah, teak one you can take in the pool. You can float around the pool. Your thing, you can ride it right into the pool. Just jump it into the pool. Like when a polar bear jumps off the piece of ice there, just boom.
I wonder if they do that with like bubbles, since like they have this bubble thing and then they like if you want to go swim with sharks but you're paraplegic, they just put you in a bubble and then the sharks play soccer with you the whole time. They're
Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would watch that.
Me too.
I watch that for sure.
Has anyone ever seen a crippled person in a sauna? No.
Let us know in the comments section.
Yeah, I would think they would enjoy it, but I don't know what the sensation is what I'm saying.
I agree.
All right. And look up and see what that is. Like, is it dangerous for them? I would.
Look, they recommend you don't get in there if you have diarrhea or sweats. So I can't imagine they'll say, oh, if you have no use of your limbs, then hop right in there.
But it also, isn't it? It's always weird sauna conversation's a little weird.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I hate
It's
them.
unclear what the etiquette is.
Yeah.
Like, is this weird? Should we? I when in doubt, I just adapt my 90s porn section of the video store.
Yeah.
That's the etiquette. Like,
I miss those
just
days,
keep walking, no eye contact,
I miss
blinders
those days.
on.
Are you hitting on me?
That you can like there could be zero conversation.
Yeah,
You know, like,
West Hollywood's worse because they start blowing each other.
yeah.
I had that situation. I was at Crunch. I'm like, okay, time to go. A little bit too much of a show going on here.
You know, I don't know why. We used to do it on K-Rock, but Andrew, you can find it, or Dawson, you can find it. We did it on the Man Show too. I think Jimmy used to do a bit. The best bits are the simplest bits.
Oh, of course. That's
The
comedy right now.
That's comedy. Just the basic. We used to record it and do it on K-Rock Radio, but then we started doing it when we did the Man Show. You just go sit in a stall at a bathroom and wait for a guy to sit in the stall next to you, and you just sit there, and then at some point you just go, "How's it going?" And there'll always be like a pause, and then they'll go like, "How's it going?" And you'll hear like a, "Okay," you know, and then you just keep going from there. But it's the weirdest thing ever. Now, I argue the sauna's not like the porn section from the, 80s, 90s video store, but it's a lot like it. You keep your P's and Q's, keep to yourself, no eye contact. But every once in a while you can make a noise, where the guy sits down and goes, sitting there. You can, there could be some commentary on the sauna itself. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, it's hot in here.
It's like a sauna
or
in
it
here.
could be better or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, could be better. While the saunas are designed to be wheelchair accessible, it's generally not recommended to bring a wheelchair into a standard sauna due to the high heat. Well, let me write this down. And potential damage to the chair's materials.
Told you.
Especially electronic or power. Yeah, I get. Yeah, electronic and power wheelchairs, but. The one Lieutenant Dan rode in Forrest Gump. Like, that's a rental,
old school
man.
one, too.
Those things are chrome. They'll be fine, and they have the vinyl sort of sling seat and back. All right.
Downshift the low in it.
Do we have... Is this from the Man Show? Yeah. All right. This is fine. These are just a real bathroom at a mall. Bathroom interview. We got guys to sign releases.
Yeah, what the hell?
Jimmy's in one bathroom.
That's so funny, dude.
I don't know why.
Why would he sign the
I love that.
release
Oh my God.
with this boxer?
That is so funny, dude.
How's it going?
Hey fella, how's it going? Doing pretty good. What'd you have for lunch? May I recommend the rotisserie chicken? Yeah. That's what I got going right now.
I recommend. I don't know why.
How's it going? Think you can guess my name? Not really. I'll give you 5 guesses.
John.
John? No, that's not it. That's one.
Josh.
Josh? No, it's not Josh.
Close.
Bill.
No, not Bill. Not Bill. That's 3. You got 2 left.
James.
I'm sorry, what was that?
James.
James is absolutely right. I'm positive people call me Jimmy, but my name is James. That's astounding that you would guess that.
This guy's wiping his hand. The fact that he starts wiping.
Dude, multitasking.
And he hands him some brownies.
Like it? There you go.
And the guy took it.
Go for the world.
I don't know why I love that bit so much. It's so simple, right? All you say is, how's it going?
It's almost like some of these hidden prank things. You just got to hope for the nicest person shows up.
Yeah.
What'd you have for lunch?
And nobody went, hey, I'm shitting right now. Let me focus.
The guy got his name in 4.
This is this story I'm telling on stage. It's a true story where like I blew my knee out almost taking a shit in a unisex bathroom. And like nobody's coming to save you.
Yeah.
When you blow your knee out and it's a bunch of Swifties in and out, it's just like you got to sit there till you heal up, Wolverine style.
You got to get a surgeon in there.
Yeah.
Scrub in. Scrubbing in. We got to hit Tripoli off the head. Let's roll. All right, we'll take a quick break. We got news. We got all sorts of other stuff to get into, and we'll do all that right after this. Simply Safe. Oh, man. You worry because you have a family, because you have a home, you have possessions. You want to keep your stuff safe, and that's where Simply Safe comes in. With Simply Safe, millions of Americans enjoy greater security and peace of mind every time they arm their system and head out in the morning or lock up at the end of the night. But traditional security systems only take action after someone has already broken in. Well, it's too late by then, isn't it? Simply Safe's Active Guard outdoor protection can help prevent break-ins before they happen. AI-powered cameras backed by live professional monitoring agents monitor your property and detect suspicious activity in real time. Monitoring plans start at a very affordable $1 a day. So protect yourself for just around $1 a day with Simply Safe. Right, Dawson?
You can get 50% off your new Simply Safe system with professional monitoring and your first month free at simplysafe.com/Adam. Just head to simplysafe.com/Adam to claim your discount and make sure your home is safe this year. Keep your home, your family, and your peace of mind protected with Simply Safe. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Omaha Steaks. Love these guys. Omaha Steaks delivers the world's best steak experience and brings people together with more than 100 years of family-owned expertise as America's original butcher. Oh, these guys are good. It's such a treat. I love Omaha Steaks, and it makes a great gift, too. From legendary steaks to classic comfort food, you can bring home the exceptional handcrafted flavor and convenience of Omaha Steaks. Every steak is perfectly aged to maximize tenderness and hand-cut by master butchers in America's heartland. Grass-fed, grain-finished beef has more marbling for exceptional flavor and is the choice of steakhouses and professional chefs around the world. They also carry mouth-watering burgers, chicken, pork, seafood, desserts, and easy-to-prepare comfort food as well. Omaha Steaks, just the best. Right, Dawson?
Don't miss the semi-annual sale at Omaha Steaks. Visit omahasteaks.com for 50% off site-wide. And for an extra $30 off, use promo code Adam at checkout. That's 50% off at omahasteaks.com and an extra $30 off with promo code Adam at checkout.
They're trying to get us all to fight with each other all the time. This divide and conquer shit, right? Like, remember when everybody was getting mad at gay pride parades? People got so mad, they decided to start a straight parade. You know what straight parades sound like to me? Gay as fuck.
Sam Tripoli is on the Adam Carolla Show.
Sam's got a podcast. Sam's got dates. Sam is all over the place. And if you go to Sam Tripoli, spelled pretty much phonetically, right?
Yeah.
SamTripoli.com, you can find out about all that stuff. Is that correct?
Yeah, didn't change my name up. Sometimes I wish I would and come up with a cool stage name, but went with my dad's name, which is my name.
Oh, yeah. You know what I was talking about the other day? You can tell a lot about your family by their sort of ambivalence to stuff, you know? And I realized I had 2 instances with my family. My dad, who was just sort of, you know, he's like a Labrador, which is, you know, nice, but he ain't doing anything for you. He's just going to hang out. Right. You know what I mean? And I said to him once, I go, I don't have a middle name. What is that? I mean, why no middle name? Now, I know what it is. It's effort. Like the people that give their kids 5 middle names, I always get pissed off, but it's because they love the shit out of them, or at least they did when they were born. But I said to my dad, I go, why no middle name? And he goes, I don't know. It just means like, I don't know. You wouldn't name you wouldn't name your neighbor's kid. You wouldn't give him a middle name. Well, why? He didn't care, And then he goes, I don't know. You should ask your mom. And I asked my mom, and she goes, I don't know. Ask your dad. I go, okay, neither one of you know because you're just like, who cares? But my dad, I realized I got his brother, Ralph, when he died, he left behind like a Purple Heart or some accommodation from the war. And my dad gave it to me. And I looked at it and it said Ralph Carolla. And I said, your brother went by Carolla? Yeah. And you go by Carolla? And he goes, yeah. I go, well, why did your brother go by a different last name? And he goes, I don't know. I was like, oh, you never... These are things normal people would like ask and have answers for. And I realized it's not that he's not like inquisitive. It's like he's such the opposite of family that is like, I don't know. Why would you fucking ask that bum if he has a recipe for gazpacho? Like, I don't know. I'm not talking to him. Why would you talk to him? Like, but that's his brother. His brother goes by a different last name.
So crazy.
And I'm like, well, what is it? Is it Carolla? Is it Carolla? And he's like, I don't know why Ralph did that. Maybe it was.
But was it Carolla and Ralph just changed it?
Now
no one, don't ask me.
What was your grandpa's name?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, he was a.
Was it Carolex?
He was a Jocko.
What?
Yeah, Jocko Carolla. That's a pretty good one. But he's an Italian
you don't hear that
guy.
Name ever, Jocko.
Jocko Carolla. Well, like
that's a nice name,
sort of
though.
Italian Jack or he died when my dad was like 18 or 19 or something. So really? I never met that guy.
My brother, I got 2 middle names. My brother got no middle name.
What?
And he's affected by it.
Oh, well, who are you talking to?
Yeah, he got so angry to the point he changed his name totally to my mother's maiden name and his nickname. That's my brother.
Okay. Well, is he pissed? See, I take it as a sign. Well, okay, I'll put it to you this way. For me, it's very consistent in their behavior or with their behavior. And that if they had, saved college money for me or bought me a car on my 16th birthday or something, I'd go, well, they're caring, loving, concerned people. But for them, it's total consistency. They didn't care then. They didn't really care later. So it makes sense. But your family you got 2 and he got none.
None.
But is your brother pissed because it's sort of a metaphor for being sort of apathetic about him?
No. My brother was treated way better. My brother was the #1 high school bowler in New York State. Wow. And where I'm from,
really?
that means something.
Wow. #1.
Yeah, my brother could bowl 300s with both hands.
Really?
Yeah, he could get perfect game, both hands.
Really? Wow.
At a very young age, my brother was the chosen one.
Wow.
He's more hung than I am, and he's younger, which is devastating.
So who needs a nickname?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'll take the bigger dick and no nickname over 2 nicknames and a smaller dick.
Well, these aren't nicknames. These are middle names, right?
Names, yeah.
Yeah, the only good part of my saga is I gave myself a middle name.
Oh, snap.
Yeah.
Which is I just wrote in Lakers one day when I was at the DMV when I was like 22.
Your middle name is Lakers?
It's on my driver's license.
It's the best thing I've ever heard in
It's
my
on
life.
every fucking official document I have.
Hey,
Everything I have.
Snuck it in through the DMV?
Go get my phone.
That's weird, man.
Somebody get my phone. I will show you this.
But damn.
The great news is I am going to the Lakers game tonight, and every time I go to the Lakers game, this Jay Moore gets me in. Jeannie Buss just walks over, and I just pull that license out, and I go, I want a free beer, bitch.
That's awesome,
I want a fucking hot dog on a stick.
That's awesome.
Well, the awesome part is if you don't have a middle name, there's just a blank square when you're doing paperwork, and then you just write in whatever you want. But
My daughters have cool middle names.
Do they want to?
Yeah, Ninja, Ghost, and Ninja.
Thank you.
That's cool.
Ghost and
so
Ninja.
strange.
Yeah.
Really?
They're known on the internet by their middle names.
Really?
Yeah, I don't want scumbags knowing their real name. Because there's so many just autistic momos out there that will go after them. So they're known as from their middle names.
But their middle name, that's what it says on the birth certificate.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun having a fun dad.
I guarantee you at some point they will go by their middle names. Because guys will love that. Hey,
Yeah.
I'm Ghost Tripoli. You're like, well, what's your real name? No, that's my legal name.
Listen,
Given to
they're
me by
right.
my parents.
You're right, but you don't want to go like full Frank Zappa. You know, because then you get
Moonbase?
named Moon Unit
Yeah.
and Dweezil and stuff. Like, no, I don't mind Ninja Warrior, Cash Widecock or something good, you know. But I don't want to be Dweezil
Yeah, 100%.
or Moon Unit.
Dweezil, dude. Imagine naming your kid Dweezil. Like, I just want him to get the shit kicked out of him forever.
Yeah. All right, I will pass that to you so you can verify.
There it is, dude. There it is.
There it is. There it is.
My parents named me after Santa Claus.
What?
Yeah, Nicholas is my middle name. Yeah.
Oh, really?
I felt like weird hiding that from you. I was born the day before Christmas. Now I'm stuck with Saint Nick.
I'll tell you the guy we should all be
It wasn't
jealous
Mayhem.
of.
They didn't give you Mayhem because that's
Got
the
that much
greatest
later.
name.
Yeah.
The guy we should be, we should all, sorry, I just turned my phone on. We should all say this about our dads when they pass, which is, I'd heard that Tucker Carlson's dad passed like last week or something like that, right? Yeah, but you know, at a certain point, you're old enough, they're old enough, you know, like, I get it.
That's my goal.
Yeah, to
Get to that time where they're good and then wrap it up.
wrap it up. Yeah.
I don't want them wiping my butt. That is one of my goals in life.
Yeah. So I just shot him a note. I just said, hey, I heard your dad pass. Sorry about that. You know, nothing. Just short, stay strong. You know, thinking about you.
Guy shit.
Guy shit. And he writes back, thanks a million, Adam. And our family, he was everyone's hero. And he was fully himself to the minute he died. Never degraded or fundamentally diminished. That was the greatest blessing. I feel weirdly okay about it, actually. I knew him so well, and our relationship was so happy and uncomplicated that mostly I feel gratitude. Not a word left unsaid. And I just wrote back, I fucking hope my son says that about me when I die.
Yeah.
I don't know, how are you doing better
That is
than that?
a new goal for me.
How? Not a word left unsaid.
You send the most basic thing, and he sent you the greatest thing.
I'm like,
No,
that's
no,
the way
I'm
you
fine
felt
with
about your dad. Yeah, I know. That's the great. What a feeling that must be. Like, he was the greatest guy. He was a hero. We didn't leave anything on the table. It was always discussed, and I feel blessed. I mean,
What a blessing. I think
Jesus Christ.
every dad that is in their kid's life want their children to say that for them, about them at the end.
well, and here's the caveat. You're going to have to earn it.
No, 100%.
You can't just be with your new girlfriend in Florida
Right.
all fucking year, never calling your kids on their birthday. Like, you have to fucking earn it. You gotta take them out to a dinner. You gotta spend some time with them. You gotta have some
give 'em
discussion.
the
a cool
lessons
middle
of
name.
life.
Give them lessons of life. Like, you gotta earn it. You
Oh,
want
dude.
that? You gotta earn it.
So my daughter now loves to play PS5, and I don't know if you've seen the games that kids play now. They're the most retarded shit you'll ever see in your life. It is. If it's dumbing down, it's dumbing down. But my daughter likes playing it. But, you know, she's this generation that, because they can't go out and play. Dude, the children on my kids' block, they just turned 5.
Okay.
The children on my block are like the kids under the stairs. You see them, you're like, did I just see a kid? Can we play together? But they don't do it, right? So they've been playing on pads inside. And so I got her a PS5. I got me a PS5 that she could play. And so, but when it gets difficult, she wants to give up the game. So I gave her this Newt Rockney speech about how she's a Tripoli, because my dad gave me this. You're a Tripoli, we don't quit, you power. And it's a 10-minute speech I gave this 5-year-old. I've been waiting to give this speech for ever. And then after I was done, she went back and played, and I felt so good about myself. I walked into my kitchen. I saw my girlfriend. I go, "Did you hear the speech?" She goes, "She's 5 years old."
Yeah. Women don't like speeches, and they don't like motivational speeches, I've realized. But I gave the same speech to my daughter. I was like, "Listen, you're a Carolla or Carollo. It's not really been settled. All right, let's just table that for a second.
Yeah.
Now, getting it. Oh, you don't know who Newt Rockney is? How about the Gipper?
Yeah, you don't know anything.
All right, well, let me just kind of regroup. I'll be back. I'll be back. And let me see if I can get the name down here.
Yep.
Newt Gipper, the ultimate coach.
Let me give you the Newt Gipper speech.
Yeah, I've realized my son's turning 19, and I'm trying to find something for him, like stuff he could be good at, stuff he could get paid for. It's also funny. These kids don't have to do anything now.
They don't. They don't.
And people go, "Oh yeah, because you're rich guys, so your kids." Poor people don't need to do anything. Evidently, no one needs to do anything anymore. Everyone's just kind of,
Dude, my buddy's like, he can't get anyone to work. He goes, these kids don't want. He runs lifeguarding in Vegas, and my friend Mike B was telling me, he's like, I can't hire anybody. Nobody will do the jobs. And when I was a kid, this was like the greatest job you could get. I can't get any kids to do these jobs.
No, nobody wants to do anything anymore, and somehow aren't compelled. Like, you go, "Don't you need money?" It's like, "I got Apple Pay." It's like, I'm telling you what it is. It's air conditioning, big screen TVs, and edibles. Yep. Between those three,
nobody's doing shit.
And Grubhub, everyone's just like, "Fuck it, man.
I don't need to leave the house."
I've talked to young people who used to work here, and I'd be like, "You're a dude. Yeah. You're dirty. Yeah. What's the plan?" They go, "What do you mean?"
Yeah.
I go, "You kind of want to career-wise, do stuff?" They go,
Don't you want Chief?
The Taste of Encinos this weekend. We're going out to that.
Oh.
I'm like, yeah, I know. I'm talking about career shit. And they're like, I said to one of them, I go, "Listen, you got air, you got a big TV, and you got pot." He's like, "Yep." And I'm like, "That's kind of all you need, right?" He's, "That's about it." And I go, "You don't even fucking need a car, right? You just Uber and whatever."
Yeah.
Yep. And I'm like, "Oh, okay." We had a little fire in our belly because there was a fucking fiery orb outside called the sun, and we didn't have air conditioning. And I was like, I don't want to live in this Cool Hand Luke sweatbox.
We were the last generation of that, the Gen X guys.
We were so miserable that we had to do shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no misery index
There's
anymore.
none. They got everything they ever want, and it's to the point now they don't even want to date anymore.
Yeah. They got too much plastic circulating in their brain.
Yeah.
And they're starting to lactate, right? And they're just like,
yeah.
And it's weird.
What the answer is.
I don't know. It's another thing that's weird too is like you talk to dudes. Like I do this with my nephews and stuff. They're like 18 or whatever. And you go, "Hey man, what do you want to do?" And they go, "I don't know." They go, "What do you like?" And they go, "I like eating out." And I go, "I know, no, but stuff like, what's your passion, I don't know." I was like, well, what do you like? I like video games. I'm like, I know, I'm talking about fucking and fighting and building shit and rebuilding engines and fucking rolling on a mat with somebody, like that stuff. They're like,
nothing.
And the dudes are detuned. Society has fucking tuned them. It's like somebody took their soup and dumped a sack of flour into it, and they're all just.
Yeah.
Someone told them that they were toxic and masculine, and they shouldn't be wrestling, and they shouldn't be asserting themselves, and they shouldn't get boners, and they shouldn't fuck, and they shouldn't fight, and all this stuff. And we got a bunch of guys who are just like, blah. And you're like, and you say to them weird shit, like you go like, let's go out. Let's go to one of these sports car racing schools or something. Go do some hot laps at Willow Springs. And they're like, "Well, this Saturday's not good for me." It's like, you don't want to you don't want to do some hot laps in the car? It's weird. I think society took dudes and they kind of demoralized them. And now they're
100%.
They're just apathetic now. They're just like, I don't. You want to go on a date? I don't want to get in trouble. I just beat off.
The Me Too's done so much damage.
I want to fuck. I don't know what the rules are. I don't even want to try anymore.
It's the Me Too movement.
I got
has scared
porn on
men.
my phone anyway, so I'm good.
And women are feeling it now too, because you hear women talk about at work, no one deals with them. Men don't want to, partner up with them on projects because they're so worried about being Me Too'd now.
Oh, well, okay, we are living in the realm of unintended consequences. That's all we do. We go, we got to defund the police. All right, let's defund the police. Oh, fuck, they're breaking into every CVS and every house and every politician that wanted to get the cops defunded. They just broke into their house. Good, but unintended consequences.
Yeah.
We need, all right, and that same with DEI shit. Like, well, we need to be integrated. We need more black people. Well, once there's enough racial discrimination lawsuits, then companies or small businesses don't want to hire black people because they can't fire them, because if they fire them for being a shitty employee, they're going to get sued and they're going to have to fucking settle up, even though it had nothing to do with the color of their skin. And it's the same with women. Like, oh, we're going to hire women and black people, and then what? Get sued every time we try to fire one of them? So you just go, I don't want the hassle. And it's an unintended consequence.
Or it's the intended consequence from the makers of mankind, the masters of mankind, to get us so everybody's siloed. And we're not interacting with each other, which is not how society runs. We all must interact with each other.
I totally agree. All right. What was the story I had about men? I was looking down on my page here, being sort of disenfranchised, but we're not. I scream it every day. Like, please do not neuter men. Just don't do it. You'll fuck your society up. You need guys.
You need men. You need driven men to create.
Right. All right. You got some news there?
I do have some news. I hope you paid your taxes already, because California's high-speed rail project needs to secure $7 billion by the summer of 2026.
Look at that, dude.
Here's a little piece of the track from Merced to Bakersfield and back. California's embattled high-speed rail project needs a lot more money, and it needs it soon.
Can you find... Hold on one sec.
Yeah.
In the booth, can you find Gavin Newsom talking to Bill Maher about this? Because it's pretty fucking good.
Unbelievable. Bill Maher, who is consistently on his podcast bitching about the state of California, asking the guy literally the cause of destroying California to run for president. Why do you want to do that, dude? Like, do you just get a call from somebody like, hey, dude, you need to push this or we're going to take your show? I don't get it. I mean, you go back to interviews with him, Gavin Newsom, when he was mayor of San Francisco. Dude, he destroyed that city.
No, that's what I said. I saw that clip and I was like, you want the guy who destroyed California to destroy the nation? Like, give me a fucking break, Bill.
You hate where California is, Bill.
It's a weird, it's a bizarre kind of alchemy of you sit around and you go, this is too much and this is too long and this is overregulated and this is whatever and we got to change the government. And then you go, when are you going to run for president?
Yeah, but he looks like the president. He looks like they would.
He's Trudeau,
dude.
Is the greatest psychopath. Him and Trudeau are the exact same guy.
Yes.
Good-looking guy, because they know that the super progressive wives will all vote for him. Doesn't matter what he does. He's cute. I'm going to vote for him. And this is what you get.
Watch out.
Yeah, watch his parry that he does.
They cross their legs the same way.
They do.
Trudeau, when you don't have a cock and balls, you do a full fucking twisty with the legs.
Right.
And what you do is Trudeau does it and Gavin Newsom does it. They do the full chick leg cross, and that pulls the pant leg up, and it shows a little bit of your colorful sock, and then you signal to the world to go, all right, I know where that guy's
He's
standing.
one of us.
I know where he is. He wears colorful socks and crosses his leg like a chick. All right, sorry, go ahead.
The governor of everyone in the state, and those are... Can you name 3 people who ever wanted to go from Merced to Bakersfield? I mean, I feel like... I'm just saying, it's like...
Let me challenge the premise, because I think in many respects this goes to, I think, the state of the Democratic Party. And I mean this with respect.
All right, hold on. He's going to challenge the premise, which is they're asking for another $7 billion to finish a train. There is a train. There's a restaurant around Westwood, but sort of on the west side. And it's an Italian restaurant, and it's like authentic Italian, and people always go, Frank Sinatra used to love to eat here. And it has a train up on the top, like there's like a shelf, like, 8 feet off, and it's a miniature train, and it just goes around in a circle, and Frank Sinatra would go there and have spaghetti.
Yeah.
And it's cute. That train is more impactful to most folks who live in California than this train. I would argue there are more people who go to that Italian restaurant and enjoy the train than there are going to be humans who live in California who don't have a vehicle that can make it from Merced to Bakersfield or something, and they're going to get on the non-bullet train. Like, it's at least as impactful. The train at Griffith Park, the miniature train that takes the little toddlers around in a circle, is every bit as important as this train, which is not, but brings joy to people. Okay, I would make an argument for the Griffith Park miniature train before I would make an argument for the $7 billion extra to do this. And Bill is saying, who lives in Merced? Who lives in Bakersfield? Oh, no, wait. Who lives in Bakersfield and works in Merced? Like, I don't know what the scenario is, but name me 3 people that would use this train, and he's going to answer.
Let me challenge the premise, because I think in many respects this goes
lot
to,
of hand movement. That's how you know he's lying.
And I mean this with respect. The Central Valley in California is one of the fastest growing parts of the state. It's predominantly rural, yes. It's predominantly Republican, yes. But it's an incredibly important part of the state. And I think we, at our own peril, we talk down to people in the Central Valley. And I think a lot of people extend that as part of the problem with the Democratic brand.
No one knows.
We talk down to people, we talk past people. I think it's an incredibly important part of the state, not just because I represent the state. By the way, that represented that part of the state, probably the largest share of my recall vote. So I'm not saying that in the context of a political frame, but I am saying in the context of trying to meet people where they are and respect people. All of us want to be protected. We want to be respected. We want to be connected. And I think they have a right.
Stop. When he turned into fucking Nipsey Russell.
When he went on that tour.
Don't be neglected.
Yeah.
Because he went on a tour to try to make a run for the 2024 election, and he got his lady dick kicked in, and now he's like, "Oh, I have to get out of my bubble and start trying to connect with the South, with the Midwest." And I have to say things like, "We have to care for people," even though this guy was more than ready to ban you from jobs because you didn't get the experimental shot.
But I was pumped that he was going to talk about the train, and then he didn't talk about the train at all.
But Bill, you got to circle back. I mean, listen, I interviewed the guy in the studio. It's all I did was stay on the same subject for 18 painful, glorious minutes.
The only other person besides myself, I would love to see you on this podcast.
Yes, I would love to do that.
Yeah.
But the reason you can't let him just get up there. Okay, so here's the deal. It's like if a cop pulls you over and goes, "You been drinking tonight?" You can't just hold your keys out the window and jingle them and go, "Hey, look at that. What's over there?"
Yeah.
And the cop goes, "Those are your keys. Now, have you been drinking tonight?" And then you go, "Hey, let me see. I'll make a rabbit shadow on my dashboard. Let me use your flashlight." He goes, No. I want to know if you've been drinking tonight." Right. And then you go, a lot of people, beer was originally made by the monks in 1420. Yeah, I don't give a fuck. I want to know if you've been drinking tonight. Like, that's the only way you can interview these guys, because they can't. They jingle their keys over here. We're going to talk about going down and not neglecting and prospecting and intersecting. He doesn't answer. He doesn't say a fucking thing. There's a train that nobody wants. We are bankrupt. You want more money. This sounds like the worst idea ever. So, all right.
What ensures that if you get the $7 billion, it will actually be used on it? You already got 20 bill, dude.
No one will ever go on that train. You will never go on that train. It will be zero impact. But let's listen to the rest of his answer just because it's funny.
So I'm not saying that in the context of a political frame, but I am saying it in the context of trying to meet people where they are and respect people. All of us want to be protected. We want to be respected. We want to be connected. And I think they have a right to have this kind of investment.
So full.
What do you mean protected? He's talking about a train that's a waste of money. Respected. They don't want to be neglected.
No, he was framing it so that he's the protector against Bill Maher of the Central Valley people, but he didn't answer shit about the train.
No, he's on a tour to make. He basically has to convince people he's normal, essentially, which is a weird.
He's on American Psycho.
Yes, the concept is a flawed concept, which is you go, well, what do people want? Well, they want less government waste, they want lower taxes, they want cheap energy, and they want a secure border. Okay. What do you want? Well, I want the opposite of all that stuff. Okay. So now I have to convince them that I've changed my mind on all the shit that I used to want.
Yep.
And that's what Kamala Harris had to do. It's like, well, I thought you wanted to pay for prisoners of transition in jail. No. I thought you wanted to get rid of ICE. No. I thought you wanted to get rid of fracking. Yeah, but I was at the tender age of 57 and a half back then.
No,
now,
you're totally
now
right.
I'm an adult. Now, that was a full 2.5 years ago. Now I'm wise, age of 60. So then you have to go around and you have to convince everyone that you don't stand for all the shit you stood for 10 minutes ago. And my feeling, you got young girls.
Yeah.
Okay. And you're not a superstitious man. But what I'm saying, you got to make a decision, right? You go, me or Mayhem's got to babysit, right? And then I go, okay, all right. Now, listen, Mayhem, that's going to be a tough putt, but Mayhem's a good dude.
He's a good dude.
He's kept his nose clean.
Yeah.
He pays his taxes.
Yeah.
He's God-fearing. He's got a young boy. He's a family man, and he's a Christian. Okay, now I know I've said a lot of stuff about fucking 5-year-olds in the past, but that was in the past.
Yeah,
that was like I was like 56 when I talked about fucking 5-year-olds.
Yeah,
that's the old Adam.
Yeah,
the new Adam. I'm with Mayhem on this. I don't think anyone should be going anywhere near 5-year-olds sexually. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a lot of footage of me on the internet talking about fucking 5-year-olds.
Yeah.
That's the old Adam. So what I'm asking is you can only have one of us watch your kid.
Yeah.
I think I'm the man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that was like 2002 when I was talking about fucking 5-year-olds.
Totally different
you know
time.
I mean? It's a different time. And I know I talked something about stealing their toys and feeding them gummy bears and telling them not to brush their teeth before they went to bed. That's the old Adam. You understand? The new Adam, going to sit there. We're going to read the Bible. We go to bed early. We eat something nutritious, and everyone flosses before they go to bed. Now, sure, you could pick up your phone and see a lot of footage of me saying something the exact opposite of that. I'm at the Mambla retreat, talking to other man-boy love association guys and things of that nature. But that was 18 months ago.
Long time.
Okay, so if you can only hire one babysitter, I think this dude's the dude. Oh, hold on. And I care. Yeah, my thing's I care.
Yeah.
I care. Yeah, that's the difference. He doesn't. That's what it is. Yeah. I'm sorry. I spent too much time on myself. He's God-fearing. He's Christian. He's a family man himself. He never got on a microphone and started talking about banging 5-year-olds. He never wanted to do that. But you know what? This guy may be racist. I think he's racist. Yeah, I think he's racist.
Your
he
kids
is.
aren't black, right?
You ever seen him wave? There's a picture of him waving.
I wish.
He's got his hand up. You know who else put his hand up? Hitler.
Yeah.
Go look it up. If you can find pictures of Mayhem waving. Well, it's not waving. He's dog whistle waving. He's wave whistling to his crowd. Okay, so this guy is either. This guy's rich, too, by the way. You know, he's got a lot of money. He wants a big fat cat coming in here, lighting cigars with $100. This guy's a billionaire.
Yeah.
You understand? He's a billionaire. He's racist.
Yeah.
He loves Putin. Yeah. This guy's Putin's.
Can't stop talking about.
He's a cat. True. His cat's paw, whatever that is. That's what he is. Mm-hmm. He does Putin's bidding. So anyway. I used to be a pedophile. Fine. But I'm not a racist. I don't love. I'm not Hitlerian. Yeah, there's pictures of me doing the same salute on the line, but that's different. That's like within a different context, you know. Yeah, so I talked about being a pedophile a lot, but I was only in my mid-50s, and now I'm in my later 50s.
I'm a different guy.
I'm a different guy. I'm not racist. I'm not a billionaire, and I'm not in with Putin. Okay? So you kind of need me to watch the kids, I'm assuming, unless you want to hire the racist.
Yeah.
You know,
who am I? Which one am I going with?
Yeah, that's basically my.
If I'm me, when do you start, ma'am? If I'm a progressive 55-year-old, I'm going with Captain Good Looking over here.
I sold my Tesla, by the way.
Yeah,
you should know that.
This guy.
When I didn't sell it, but
get the fuck out of here,
I put
ma'am.
a sticker on it that said I bought the Tesla before I knew Elon was an asshole.
Yeah.
And so that kind of covers the Tesla.
Half your staff is gay, obviously.
I have a thing in my yard that says no humans illegal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even pedophiles, really, but that's not what I put it there.
I only hire trans now. That's all I do.
Yeah. That's what I do.
All the chicks here, big dicks. That's all happens
this
here.
This guy loves Hitler.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah. It's just ridiculous.
Oh, he invents rockets and shit, too. Who else invented, the whole rocket program came out of Nazi Germany.
Yeah.
Werner von Braun. Probably a buddy of yours. That's why you like rockets. You and Hitler love your rockets. He had a V1. You love yourself some rockets, don't you?
Yeah.
Hitler.
Yeah,
I don't care about rockets.
I live in California and you just burned down my house. I'm hiring you.
Yeah. He wanted to do deforestation, but I was worried about the milk thistle.
Yeah.
So I said no.
The dune bug. You were worried about the tiny bugs.
I was worried about the delta smelt. That's why we don't have any water in the reservoir. And then we didn't clear the brush because I was worrying about milk thistle.
Yeah.
This guy wanted to fill the reservoirs
with water.
with racist water.
Dude, probably Aryan water.
I'd say it'd be the
Look at you, dude.
He's like, the tears of Jews is what he wanted to fill those reservoirs with.
Yeah, the tears of Jews. Dude, look at those tattoos. They're probably all Aryan Brotherhood tattoos, too.
All right, you just broke down the fourth wall because my mayhem in this fantasy doesn't have tattoos.
Exactly.
All right, sorry, go ahead.
All right, here's a nice bit of video. Memphis repo man driver runs over his head trying to evade the tow. This is just a great video from TMZ.
That's a video.
A repo man in Tennessee is proving you gotta have a lot of brains to do the job. Here he is right here.
Repo man's got to be the worst fucking job of all time.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
Oh, he's got a flatbed. Oh, he's going to pull the car up the flatbed.
And then I guess the lady or the driver gets into the car right here. He makes a decision to get underneath there. Gets run right over.
The guy didn't see him there.
No.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's
the guy's
horrific.
pulling back in.
And the guy does not care.
The guy, all right, let me just stop it for a second.
Yeah.
So the guy backs the flatbed into the parking space, so he can't get out. He's got a car to the right, a car to the left, and a building and a shrub behind him. The guy's going to hook up the front axle or whatever, and he's going to drag it up the flatbed. The camera is like the GoPro on the front of the flatbed facing down. The guy goes down to hook up the chain. I don't think the guy who's driving the flatbed saw him run around. Then the guy backs out because he's got to do a 10-point maneuver to get out of here, right? Yeah. And then ran over the guy's head.
Well, he exited through the shrub if you watch the video all the way through. But, yeah, let's watch it all.
I do like he has a sort of Bonnie to his Clyde.
Yeah.
No, but she's awful. She should go in the truck.
No, this lady was part of the car. Yeah.
She's with the guy.
She was friends with that guy
who had the red car.
Exactly.
Yeah, she should jump in the truck and move it up.
Yeah.
But now this guy, you got a car that's eventually gonna get repoed. And now you gotta, you're gonna get arrested, right? For running over a dude.
Yeah, he's sustained abrasions on his head. That man is wanted for, reckless assault. And the guy's in a neck brace.
I'm a little sympathetic because I drove off a tow truck before.
Yeah.
So I have experience driving off of tow trucks. Mine wasn't a flatbed. It was the Elon Musk rocket catching arm sling that the two prongs that go out and lift it.
Bang, bang, yeah.
Lift it up.
You drove right off of it? Backed right off of it?
Well, the guy towed the back of my car.
Oh, yeah.
So.
And you had front wheels driving?
No.
No, you just floor it.
It was a BMW. It was a 90 E36 BMW M3 6-speed with a rear wheel drive, so that the tires were on the two arms that were cupped up, and the car was at a 90-degree angle or something, 45 degree. It was towed. It was 3-4 feet off the back of the thing, and I was gonna let it go. Well, first the guy kept towing the car, and then I jump in the car and hit the brakes. And because I know a lot about cars, I know that most of the brake ballast is in the front wheels, because when you try to stop a car, you need more brake on the front because the weight is going forward. If you put it in the back just locks up, and it's got no weight on it because the weight is shifting.
Right.
So I know it's got, 65, 70% ballast in the front. So when the guy gets in the tow truck and starts towing me, I jump in the car and I hit the brake, and now he's dragging me and my front end through the parking lot of the 7-Eleven in Hollywood, So, and then he gets out of the car and starts yelling at me, and then I get out of the car and start yelling at him, and then he runs back to the tow truck. I run back to my car. And we do the same thing. And then at some point, I get out of the car. This is midnight. And Tom Stern, who's plays Yergy.
What?
Can you find, Dawson? Can you find Windy City Heat? We were talking about that the other week on the show.
Yeah.
You love that movie. Okay. Tom Stern plays Yergy, the Russian rich porn producer who shows up and starts explaining that he wants more tits and ass if he's going to pay for Windy City, because they lose funding from their Japanese guys who are paying for it, Mr. Hiroshima.
Knocked over all the food.
Yeah, and Yamasaki. So then Yergy shows up. So Yergy, Tom Stern is Yergy.
Yeah.
And Tom Stern is nuts. And he's out in the parking lot with me, and he's witnessing this whole thing going down.
You were parked in the red?
I was parked. It was after a Man Show taping. We used to go out, and we'd go to a billiards place in Hollywood and all have our little after party. It was perfect. It was a Man Show. It was beers, people, pool. We just fucking hang out and drink beers and play pool at night, 10 at night. So Tom's working with us, directing, because he directed all our monkeys.
If you haven't seen Windy City Heat, it is the funniest movie ever made. It is so funny, dude.
This is Yergy. Oh, we'll find Yergy. Sorry.
Yeah, there he is.
Yeah, that's Yergy. That's Tom. So, all right, if you have Yergy, play Yergy. It cracks me up. And that's the fridge.
I know exactly what's sicko, and I'm going to find him. I know exactly what's sick. Oh, and I'm going to find him.
Cut. Yeah. One thing.
Yeah.
Is it too late to get Carson Daly?
Carson Daly is a fucking pussy.
No, we're married to Perry. I mean, that won't affect the financing, will it?
Carson Daly does not work.
I trust your vision.
Okay, good.
Yergy, give him a chance. You go get him.
Thank you. All right. When Yergy mentioned bringing back Carson Daly, it's like, Wait a second. Carson's not Italian like I'm Italian. Carson Daly, he's a Jew boy trying to be a wop.
I think we put Nadia in. Give Nadia a crack at it.
He used to put his horse in the movie.
That was great, Sweaty Lana.
Yuri, do you think it's gonna match?
Don't worry about that.
All right, let's go again. Bridge, you all set?
Ready?
Okay, you really want to go through that door. And act.
The fridge.
They took the fridge, Stone. How am I supposed to chill food? How?
Cut. All right, that was great, folks.
Okay, I got it.
The fridge is fridge.
All right.
Yeah.
Bob Scott, listen.
Here comes
Say
Jurgen
that's
again.
so cool. The fridge is fridge.
Freddie, shut up. I read the script.
Yeah.
I think it needs a rim job scene.
Rim job?
No, it's not what you think. A rim job is when you eat someone's ass.
Okay, all right. So that's fucking Yergy.
Okay.
Who's Tom Stern, who's hanging out with us because he directs all our monkey bits. Because he's nuts, you know. And he comes running out there, and he sees me going back and forth with the tow truck driver and jumping in the car. And at some point, he starts unlashing my tire from like the driver's side. He just starts undoing the tie down, and he just yells at me, "Undo the tie down." And I'm on the other side of the car, and I know how to undo tie downs, so I fucking undid the tie down, and he goes, "Get in the car, go for it." And I'm like, "All right, Yergy." I just jumped in the car, slammed the door, fired it up, popped it in first, and it was like dropped it, fucking threw some revs at it. 'Cause I knew I was gonna have to get out of this tow truck and I knew it was rear wheel drive, and I just fucking sucked off, boom, on the ground, fucking sped off into the night. Just got home, shut all the lights, put the car in the fucking garage, and just sat there waiting for the cops to show up like the whole time. I was like,
my God.
I was like, the cops are, this fucking guy's got my license plate. Like the cops are just going to show up.
Man, what'd you do in your last life that you're a repo man?
I don't know. This guy had his girlfriend with him.
Oh my God. Dude, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's hilarious,
I go, come on, man, just leave. And he goes, I can't show up without a car. I can't go back to the repo yard without a car. I go, does it ever happen where you get a call and by the time you get there, the car's left? And he goes, yeah, all the time. I go, well, just tell him that's what happened. Just tell him you showed up and then the guy was gone, you know? I'll give you some money. He's like, no. So we drove off.
Unbelievable.
But I
should have taken the cash.
I wouldn't have done it without Yergy.
Shout out Yergy.
Shout out to Yergy, who fucking inspired me. I wasn't
talk
gonna do
about
it.
another great name, Yergy, dude.
Yergy, the Russian.
You're producing porn.
Well, if
Yergy.
Yorkie was crazy, you might like this guy. A New Jersey police chief is accused of sticking a subordinate with the hypodermic needle on the penis, pooping on the floor, spiking the coffee pot with Adderall and Viagra, and yeah, it's on right now.
And it's almost like, do you I mean, based on the picture we're seeing, he looks like that guy. And like, it's almost like, are you predestined to become this guy? Because that is the guy that looks like he would do all that.
Yeah, you grew into that. Like, all racists look like racists.
Yeah,
Like, maybe it's not their fault. Maybe they just looked like racists and they grew into it, you
100%.
know?
Yeah, they say the unsavory antics were part of a culture of humiliation, harassment, and vulgarity that the North Bergen police chief Robert Fairley allegedly fostered within the department since he took charge last year. Say the cops that are preparing to sue him. He's also accused of sneaking hot peppers into officers' food, sending sex toys and gay pride flags to the home of a cop, and tossing eggs in fit of anger. Now,
Some of that stuff's
Some
funny.
of it's fine.
Yeah.
Most of it's fine.
Well, yeah, that's the funny thing is that the rest of the police department stand behind him.
Yeah,
and
I mean,
don't
the
want
pooping
anything done to
thing
him.
and the sticking me with needles, let's cut that out. Sending gay pride flags is hilarious.
I had a guy. You know, a Snapple has the big mouth on it. I had a guy put his dick in my Snapple and stir it around,
Dude,
and then put it back on my desk.
I once
drank
sucked my
it.
dick
He
in
told me.
Steve Burns' chicken sandwich when he went out to eat, eat. And I was like, oh, I'm going to stick my dick in the sandwich just to watch him eat it. And he ate it. And it was so funny. And then I told him like 5 years later, and we weren't friends for about 5 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's fine.
That's fine.
All this stuff is fine. The drugging stuff, that's a little different. I used to piss in the coffee pot at the Man Show all the time.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Well, because the coffee pot was upstairs and the writer's room was on the third floor in the writer's room. And the writers had their own bathroom up on the third floor of our building, and they would fucking destroy the bathroom. They would. I'd show up there. There'd be newspaper all over the fucking floor. They'd piss all over it. It was like a cage for a hamster.
Gas station bathroom.
Yeah, they destroy it. They wouldn't flush the toilet,
Yeah.
blow it up,
Oh, I hate
And I just go, you know what? Fuck you guys. So I went to their coffee pot at the end of the hall, which is always funny because it was right by the window. That was at the end of the halls, at the end of the hall, and I just fucking pissed that. I fill that thing up with my golden piss, and I put it back, and the way the sun would hit it was just perfect coming through the window. And I'd go, "There's your fucking piss pot, riders. Get your shit together." Yeah, no one ever sued me.
Yeah.
Well, you'll appreciate this. They say Chief Farley.
Daniel, our executive producer, first off, the only bathroom he ever shit in was my dressing room bathroom. Like, he wouldn't shit in the writer's room. He wouldn't shit. He'd go to the stage, go to my bathroom, go into my dressing room, leave a fucking huge log in there, and then leave. He would never flush it.
Back when men could be men.
Well, they're saying that Chief Farley has on several occasions pulled his pants down and defecated on the floor in front of his entire office.
I need more context to this one.
I mean, was it a bet? There was money on the line.
Yeah, and he had a couple beers.
Was he showing you how they shit in China? What was he doing?
Was it after 5 p.m.?
Yeah,
Like, I need to know more before I'm going to judge. Was it a weekday? I need to know things, you know?
Well, he even pooped in a trash can of the office he was moving out of, so the next police official moving in wouldn't find it.
This is all fine.
funny.
This is all fine.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I wish I shit in that coffee
When
pot.
Farley allegedly put hot peppers in another employee's
Fine.
food and
This is
heated
all
it in a
fine.
microwave, fumes emanating from the stunt caused one lieutenant to get sick.
Oh, fuck
Oh,
off.
wow.
You can't
I've
turn
got
in your
sand in
shield.
my
All
vagina.
right. Well, how do you guys feel about this? Chief Farley has also tampered with the office coffee by adding prescription medications such as Adderall and Viagra, causing staff to inadvertently experience the effects of these substances without their consent.
I need more context here.
Viagra doesn't bother me. Like, what are you like? You're just walking around rock hard, loving fighting crime.
Diamond cutter dick.
Also, it's not always. There needs to be context. Like when the guy put his dick in the Snapple, it had turned out he thought it was my Snapple, but it was another guy who worked at the radio station.
That is so
Snapple,
funny,
and he
dude.
watched that guy walk in and pick up the Snapple. It was sitting on my desk, but he just set. I didn't have a desk. He just like set a Snapple down. Anyway, they thought it was mine. It wasn't mine. So we need context.
That is so
you know what I
funny,
mean? Yeah, you knew it was Steve Burns' sandwich, though, didn't you?
Yeah, and I watched him and I laughed, and we all had a great time until he got too serious. But that's what guys do. That's the funny stuff that guys do.
Didn't talk to you for 5 years.
5 years.
Are you cut or uncut?
I'm cut.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's no big deal. Uncut.
Exactly, dude.
Well, you got a little pre-fused cheese on there or something.
that's it.
Yeah, uncut. Yeah,
Just
uncut's
know,
a situation, but
I made
you're
love
cut.
to that sandwich, so it wasn't done out of like brutality or anything like
Egg
that.
salad, or sorry, was it chicken salad or just chicken?
It was grilled chicken.
Oh, that's not.
Yeah, I agree.
Look. If you say to me, look, this was chicken salad and I'm uncut, I'm like, all right, I get Steve. I can be a little hot around the collar about this, but grilled chicken and you're fully circumcised. This is you know what? Let me keep it in the realm of food. This is a nothing burger.
Yeah,
that's what I would have told him.
It's a real nothing burger.
Chicken
I totally
salad,
agree.
one thing.
Yeah,
uncut,
Agreed.
another circumcised.
This chief
chicken
needs
breast.
us on his jury.
He
did nothing wrong.
Nullification.
All I'd do is I'd go, my buddy Ray, and that's all I'd say, and then the rest of the story would be so disgusting
agree,
to
dude.
everybody in the audience that they never convict.
Hey, I agree, dude.
Or at least I should preside over this with hard-hitting questions like, chicken salad.
Yeah.
chicken breast,
You actually got me off. This is like,
gotten
not
off-
guilty.
If you've gotten
off,
off,
I
it'd
didn't
have been
finish
holding
on the sandwich,
If you
though. I tell
finish-
you that. I did not do that. I'm not that much of a savage.
All right, let's bring it home, Mayhem.
All right.
Sam, let me give you some plugs.
Thank you.
It's got podcast Conspiracy Social Club, a.k.a. Deep Waters, out there. Tinfoil Hat, of course, as well. Live shows all over the place, samtripoli.com. Me heading to San Diego at the American Comedy Club,
Great
doing
club.
stand-up there. Yeah, you like it there, huh?
Yeah.
I think I've been there. I can't remember. April 11th and 12th. Go to adamcarolla.com for all the live shows, because I'm everywhere. And until next time, it's Adam Carolla from AM and Sam Tripoli saying mahalo.